We meet Carlos. While driving, he has to go to a truck stop to use the bathroom. While his pants are down, he drops his phone. He rushes to the truck and drives away. As he passes El Paso, he looks at the border and reminisces about his journey across the border. He gets to a remote area, the tire goes out, he swerves off the road. Pulls off as he goes to make a call and realizes he doesn't have his phone. He walks up, sees a house with an old Confederate with a POW flag on the window. Carlos reluctantly knocks on the door. A frail old man answers the door and lets Carlos in. The old man's making coffee for Carlos while he's on the phone. Due to a rainstorm coming, it'll be a couple of hours. The old man tells Carlos he can wait there until the tow truck gets there. While he sips coffee, the old man tells him how he was in the military and how he met his wife in Thailand. Look just like Carlos. Carlos feels sleepy as the old man tells him that since he can't find the killer, Carlos will do. Carlos passes out and wakes up on a table in the old man's basement. Looks around and sees pictures of the old man and his wife while in the military. They're in Bangkok in the market, smiling and laughing. The old man stretches and no longer looks frail. Pulls out a table of torture instruments, grabs bamboo rods and begins inserting them under Carlos's nail, while telling a story of torturing a Thai man who didn't let him marry his daughter. We cut to Jimmy riding shotgun as his wife Brenda drives. They talk about Jimmy tracking his drivers using GPS. Jimmy notices Carlos hasn't left the same spot. He now notices the truck just moved off the highway. We cut back to Carlos hanging upside down, water. The old man stands up Carlos and pulls out a battery and connects it to it. He hits Carlos with the rod as he tells him a story about the death of his wife. He tells him that the illegal immigrant took his queen and now he has to make it pay. Jimmy convinces Brenda to find the truck. You see, the old man has since towed the truck to the house. He tells Brenda to stay in the car and keep a lookout while he tracks the truck. As he walks around the house, he hears screams into the basement window. He sees Carlos tied up to a table. Tries to get Carlos's attention. Man jump in front of the window. He jumps back in surprise. He hits his head on a pipe sticking up. Brenda's patiently waiting in the car, then finally decides to go looking for Jimmy. He pulls out a Glock and walks into the yard. She looks very familiar with military tactics as she sweeps the yard for booby traps, jumping over them or simply disabling. Into the same window Jimmy did and notices two men tied up. To find a way in and finding an open window. As she goes to climb up, she sees flashes of a little girl. Climbing, she hears the sounds of Jimmy scream. While upstairs, she notices photos. We see quick flashes of a little girl running in the yard. We see Randy laying on the couch. We hear silverware falling down the clothes. Randy wakes up and goes towards the kitchen. Down a long hallway and we see a kitchen to the left into a room. He hears sound as he looks into the bath. Looks to the right, a figure of a dead woman who's about 6 feet tall. He runs down the stairs and falls. We see her enter his body and his eyes turn black. He then stands up, cracks his neck, and we hear a knock at the door. We come back to Brenda walking slowly downstairs. She trips up a wire, catches a round in the leg, and drops the Glock. The old man finds a trail of blood and goes towards. As he's walking forward, we see flashes. When we flash back, we see the same woman that was hugging the little girl. While he's searching, Brenda changes form to a younger version of herself. Promise I'll never do it again, baby. It's just that you were a bag to teach you a lesson. He emerges from behind him and pops both of his ears. Hand-to-hand combat fight ensues. He wrestles her to the ground. Daddy, no more. Brandy pop? She rips his throat out, dies in a pool of his own blood. She runs to rescue Jimmy and Carlos. As Brenda pulls them out, you see her hands have the same scars. Cut to the wedding. Minister said, "With this ring, I thee wed."